Before 1776, North America was shaped by fierce rivalry between Britain and France, creating deep tensions that pushed the colonies toward future conflict and resistance. In the British Parliament, politicians argued intensely over new taxes designed to recover massive war debts, unaware these decisions would ignite colonial anger across America. The 1764 Sugar Act marked Britain's first major attempt to tax the colonies directly, sparking early resentment and questioning of British authority among colonists. The Stamp Act soon followed, forcing taxes on everyday documents and fueling widespread colonial outrage, strengthening the belief that British rule had grown deeply unjust. As new taxes increased, colonists felt their rights eroding, believing Britain no longer viewed them as equal citizens, but merely as a source of revenue. Amid rising anger, the Sons of Liberty formed in secrecy, organizing resistance and encouraging colonists to challenge British control through coordinated acts of defiance. Large protests erupted throughout colonial cities as citizens rallied against burdensome taxes, signaling a growing determination to oppose Britain's authority at every level. In Boston, tension exploded in 1770 when British soldiers confronted angry civilians, creating a volatile standoff that revealed how dangerously divided the colonies had become. The Boston Massacre erupted when soldiers opened fire on unarmed civilians, shocking the colonies and turning public opinion sharply against British military presence. In 1773, disguised colonists boarded ships and dumped British tea into Boston Harbor, demonstrating bold defiance and escalating tensions to an unprecedented level. Britain retaliated with the Intolerable Acts, harsh measures that restricted colonial freedoms and convinced many Americans that reconciliation with Britain was slipping away. Delegates from all 13 colonies gathered at the Continental Congress, determined to present a unified response to Britain's increasing political and economic oppression. They drafted the Olive Branch Petition, hoping King George III would negotiate peacefully and acknowledge the colony's desire for fair treatment and representation. King George III rejected the petition entirely, declaring the colonies in open rebellion and committing Britain to a hardline approach against American resistance. At dawn in Lexington, colonial militias stood firm as British troops advanced, marking the moment when peaceful protest shifted toward unavoidable military confrontation. The steady march of British soldiers into colonial towns intensified fear and tension, foreshadowing the violent struggle that was about to erupt across America. The first shot at Lexington, later called the Shot Heard Around the World, ignited full-scale war and forever changed the course of American history. Colonial militias fought fiercely behind trees and stone walls, proving their resolve to resist British power despite overwhelming military disadvantages. Enlightenment ideas spread across the colonies, inspiring beliefs in natural rights, personal liberty, and the moral justification for resisting oppressive government rule. The forced quartering of British soldiers in colonial homes created daily tension, deepening resentment and fueling demands for greater autonomy and respect. Britain suspended local legislatures, stripping colonists of self-government and reinforcing the belief that British authority had become increasingly abusive and illegitimate. By candlelight, Thomas Jefferson drafted the Declaration of Independence, carefully shaping powerful ideas that would define the colony's reasons for breaking from Britain. The Committee of Five reviewed Jefferson's draft, refining each line to ensure the document clearly expressed the colony's united call for freedom and equality. On July 4, 1776, delegates voted for independence, marking a historic decision that fundamentally reshaped the political future of America and the world. Each signature on the Declaration represented immense courage, binding the signers to a cause that risked their lives, families, and fortunes for freedom. The Declaration of Independence emerged as a global symbol of liberty, articulating universal rights and inspiring countless movements for justice and self-determination. The first American flag rose proudly, symbolizing the birth of a nation determined to pursue freedom despite immense sacrifice and overwhelming obstacles. The Declaration's message echoed across the world, inspiring other nations and peoples to question authority and fight for their own rights and independence.
Today we sign more than just a
The struggle from unfair taxation to full independence was long and painful, defined by sacrifice, determination, and unwavering belief in liberty. Its message endures. Freedom is not granted by rulers, but earned through courage, unity, and the willingness to challenge injustice.
I really hope we can make that trip happen.
Beside the campfire, revolutionaries reflected on the uncertain future ahead, driven by hope that their efforts would create a free and lasting nation. From 1764 to 1776, each event pushed the colonies closer to a historic choice, declaring independence and reshaping the direction of world history.